Alright, here we are in game 2, and we'll see the civs. So since yellow and red lost the previous game, they picked the civs that both teams would have to play, and then in the next game, if they play it, they will swap civs. So in this game, they are playing as the Britons and the Vikings against the Celts and the Goths. So they need to have a plan both to win with these civs and to beat these civs in the next game. So this should be quite interesting. And if we look, we have the Viking player at the top of the map and his Briton ally to the left of the map. Looks like he might have taken berries and brought his sheep in a bit late. But we see then our Celts player in the bottom of the map opposite the Britons and the Goths in the right side of the map opposite the Vikings. So the thing that makes the Vikings powerful is their really strong economy, because they get the wheelbarrow and handcart upgrades for free, and that's wheelbarrow costs 175 food and 50 wood, and handcart is 300 food and 200 wood. They get that for free. They get the increased efficiency of them instantly, and they also don't need to spend town center time, which is equivalent to about 5 villagers worth of town center time in that you would normally spend researching those upgrades that the Vikings get for free. So it's a really strong eco upgrade and can lead to them doing some things like a really fast 3TC broom into Arbalest, getting imp, like 26 minutes or so. But ooh, his boar is forward, and it looks like blue will try to steal that and see where is red scout. Nope, he's pushing deer, not even going to try and contest that. Blue just needs to make sure he doesn't lose his scout or let the boar run back. But should be pretty simple just to get it inside of his gate. And ooh, yellow bring his scout over, but ooh, that was risky. Almost messing it up at the end there, not getting inside the gate, but he'll be fine. You can get it pretty well timed with this boar to, get one shot at it. Of course, he is the Goths, so he kills it pretty much instantly with those villagers. But yeah, pretty unfortunate for our Viking player now. That will slow him down. At least he does have all these deer in the back. He can just push them in pretty easily with that scout, but he did decide to push those deer instead of taking that boar earlier, using his scout to defend the boar. So that did cost him that boar with it getting stolen. Otherwise, looks like yellow managed to bring in his boar without much of a problem. These villagers chopping wood at the top, and purple also pushing in his deer, also pretty close. It's always nice when your deer are really close to your town center and you can push them in easily. That deer running quite a long way. And okay. Thought that sheep was going to die there, but it's okay. Now moving over to gold, and we'll see what is our Briton player going to do. Britons, they can boom, they can go to stone, maybe try to push with longbows. Of course they are against the Celts, so it's one option for them. And now more gold from, that actually probably be a pretty good option, since all of purple's resources are really far forward. Even his main gold just has this one stone mine in the back, and looks like he is even going for a stone. So mining some gold long distance, it looks like, and building a stone mine. And that deer walking back, but not much of an issue. Of course, one thing you can do is mine 30 gold and then sell wood to get your gold to click up. And then if he's just putting 2 villagers on stone, could be looking to just put down some extra town centers. Celts are a good civ for going directly into 4 town centers, like we saw our Mayans player doing that previous game. That villager, 30 gold being retasked, and we'll see blacksmith market coming up and scout fight coming down, and we'll see which player wins. Yellow going to run away, but now purple can catch him but no, he's not going to chase. Red would need to bring in his scout there to help. blacksmith market from the Goths as well, blacksmith and market from the Vikings, blacksmith market from the Britons. So everyone going blacksmith market, but the Briton player going over to stone. So it looks like he will be going for a castle, maybe try to do some pressure with longbows. We'll see if he decides to build the castle defensively or go forward with it, because all of his stone is in the back, and he does have gold in the back. Other than these 2 golds being forward, that is a pretty decent map. Certainly much better than purple's map, with pretty much everything being forward, and stone not the most important resource at the beginning of the castle age for the Celts, since you can go Woad Raiders, but maybe not against Briton archers in the castle age. But now yellow is up to the castle age, and we'll see what he does. Takes the villagers off of stone, and we want to see where is he placing his castle. Building a house first, and then going to the castle. And he's going to build it defensive, build it at home, and then go for some longbows. I don't see him putting down another town center. He doesn't have the stone for another town center. Meanwhile, purple, town center on the gold on the front to defend it, on the stone on the back to help collect stone. And he will have quite a bit of stone, so maybe he's looking to get up a defensive castle to help defend in case the Briton player decides to push. Maybe he knows that he has a really bad map, so he just wants to get up a castle on the front to try to defend it. And relics. 3 relics right here near both of these players. Other 2 relics near the other team. So slight advantage in relics with 1 more relic that should belong to this team. The other team getting 2. And Goths player also just putting down 2 town centers. As we see town centers coming down for the Vikings, going directly 4 town centers for our Viking player, taking advantage of that strong Viking economy to go for a really large boom. And castle coming up now for the Britons as the longbowmen are coming out. And a second town center going up on this gold. So if he does go forward, we won't see a repeat of last game where both players were on 1 town center. They will actually have some type of economy behind this to help support them. And scouting, that scout could be picked off. No player really going for the relics yet. Interesting to see they're just letting them sit out there. And deleting the wall on the front just to make that gold a bit more efficient, let his units out, but hopefully nothing gets in there. And scouts try to pick each other off, but purple scout goes down to yellow scout, and that's really costly for him because he won't see these longbows coming forward. And villagers coming forward to build a castle to try to secure this gold. And will yellow be able to deny it? I don't think he'll be able to get there in time, but purple's only building this with 3 villagers. Might want to send more just to get it up in time. And yellow sees that, he's Xing it, he knows there's a castle there, and he's going to try and do some harassment with his longbows, building a house adjacent to his lumber camp. But now 3 town centers, and town center manages to snipe that scout. These 3 longbows are coming forward. Probably won't be enough to deny the castle, but could slow it down a bit. And could they pick off a villager scouting the longbows? Not quite. They're going to hop inside the town center, but that will delay the castle. He needs to bring more longbows over, and yeah, if he brings more units over, then he could do a good job of stopping this from going up. But he's not going to try to rush it with the village. He's just going to try to keep it in his town center. And that scout is not quite going down. He will have to run away, though, so it doesn't get picked off. But Siege Workshop in the back, he's going to try to get out some mangonels to try to force the longbows away and help him get up the castle. And now Blue's bringing in his scout as well, but that probably will go down. Not even getting a hit on Red Scout, kind of a waste there. And Yellow was sending a villager forward to build a Siege Workshop, but deleted it. That villager has been kind of hurt. Yellow on 3 town centers. Blue going up to a 4th town center for our Goths player. And our Vikings player is still on 4 town centers, still going up. He's taking some stone, so maybe he'll look to make some castles and get out some Berserks, and use the Berserks to fight against the Goths player. I think I do favor the Goths player in that matchup just because they can produce so much more quickly, but Berserks are a really good unit for fighting against Goths, though. And this castle still denied, and Siege Workshop with a mangonel can put a mangonel behind the castle, and that will pretty much stop it from going up for the foreseeable future. And we need to see what's in that Siege Workshop there, because if he has... Yep, he's getting out a mangonel. He's going to use the mangonel to try to force the longbows away so that his villagers can get the town center up. And you see him now garrisoning in the town center, and it has the gather point set there. So he wants to send his villagers out to build it, and then use the mangonel to protect them, and going to force the longbows, get a hit on them. They didn't quite split in time, but now Yellow... He's bringing forward his own mangonel to try to snipe that mangonel, but that will buy him enough time to get the castle up. Ooh, surviving on 2 HP, but the longbows do manage to snipe it. Petard coming forward, and it looks like he might try to just go around the castle, try to get down here, get into the eco, but it looks like, doesn't look like there's a hole there. It looks like Purple has prepared for this with a wall up towards his town center. And Yellow will repair that mangonel. And Purple, we'll see those petards coming in. Fortunately, this time they're not going to hit the side of the gate. They will do, and they will be able to take it out, but not going for the gate, going for the wall. And longbows will now come in. And Purple is under a lot of pressure. That castle was really delayed. And if you look at the vill counts, he's about 13 villagers ahead because Yellow did throw in this time that second town center, so he does have a stronger economy, as Purple is going to continue walling towards his town center and just use these mangonels and these walls to force Yellow's army away. And good, bringing forward a villager to repair. That villager is kind of hurt though, and that mangonel picking off the villager, but ooh, just surviving on 1 HP, and could still pick off that. No, managing to get away, but now longbows over time, steadily doing some damage, and that village needs to repair that mangonel a little bit more quickly. There you go. And the longbows are forced back, so Purple is safe for now. And how is our Goths player going to respond to this? The Goths has been just booming for free this entire time, but so has the Viking player, and the Viking player does have a much stronger economy. So we see that in the score. The Viking player really far ahead from the Goths. And now, another engagement with 2 mangonels. Looks like trying to repair the wall, but left his mangonel outside. But now he's safe again, unless Yellow brings forward more petards. He can defend this wall with some mangonels, and wall up behind it. And yeah, Purple's really safe. And we see how Yellow changes now. Adding in now a 3rd town center. And he is over time falling behind in villagers, but he has managed to do a lot of damage. As Blue is up to the Imperial Age, looks like he's going up for the Imperial Age quickly, whereas Red is going for a bit slower. Ooh, even on 5 town centers, that is quite a large boom. And of course those Elite Berserk upgrades are really, really costly. They're really expensive. And we're probably going to see castles and Berserks from the Vikings, just to deal with the Goths. And we'll see if the Viking player, with his super strong Viking economy, is able to produce enough, because it looks like slowly down here, looks like Yellow is doing a good job of pushing into this Celts player, and eventually looks like he might win if given enough time, because Purple putting down the next castle, but he is pushing in, forcing Purple back, forcing another town center, adding in just now the 4th town center in the back. But he is taking control of that area of the map, and with the 2nd castle we'll have that gold. But slowly but surely, more mangonels, more longbowmen from the Britons coming in. They are pushing Purple just slowly and slowly further back into his base. And remember, this Briton player, this isn't a 1 TC push. He is on 3 TCs now, was on 2 for quite a long time. So he does have a decent sized economy behind this. Not as good, but he is able to fight. And now another castle coming forward, and the Berserks are already coming out for the Vikings, as the Viking player is up to the Imperial Age. Purple is up as well, and looks like Yellow is a bit further behind, but doing a great job repairing that mangonel. Ooh, the repair coming in just enough to keep it alive on 1 HP. And that villager still keeping it alive. And that villager doing a great job of keeping that mangonel alive. Now here come the Huskarls from the Goths. Blue, he sees that his teammates getting pushed back, and he is going to send over Huskarls to help. Of course, they will do a great job at fighting the Longbowmen with that 8 pierce armor already, without even the elite upgrade. So they will kill those Longbowmen, and this will be cleaned up. So Yellow now, he knows he has to go back. He knows he's cleaned up. He knows that the Goths player is here and that he doesn't have the units to deal with Huskarls. So he's also up to the Imperial Age, and he's going to need to hold on as Red, sending his Berserks down here. That will keep Yellow alive while he can click up to the Imperial Age. And this forward is cleaned up, but it did manage to slow Purple down enough that now the Viking player... See, Blue's Xing a lot. Just Xing, I guess maybe that the Viking is going for castles, but now 4 castles filled with Berserks, and we need to see... And he has almost enough stone for another castle, so he's going to be going heavy into these Berserks. And he has control of these 2 gold mines in the front of his base, so he will be able to do that for quite a long time. But what's going to be important is these extra resources between the Goths and the Vikings, and we'll see who can control those resources to push out their units more. Because if we look at this population, Red's up to 150 villagers, and his eco is huge. And this Treb looks like it's going to be picked off, and these elite Berserks can fight these units pretty effectively. There's going to be a lot more of them than there are World Raiders. And Purple just, he has a good economy, but not quite the size that he needs to fight off this Viking player. And those Huskarls die really quickly to Berserks. And Longbows, they don't have ballistics, so that Trebuchet is just going to avoid all of their arrows until it runs into a castle. But losing a lot of Huskarls in the process of cleaning up those Berserks. As the Rams are coming forward, so Rams, Trebuchets, and World Raiders for the Celts, as there are some Huskarls coming in to try to push into these castles to stop that longbow production, as University coming in just now to get ballistics, and let's see, Xing that Treb, Xing that Siege, and he's going to try to wall up behind it, as more and more Berserks just coming forward, as another castle, a 5th castle coming forward at the front of Melkor's base to create these Berserks, as he has this nice little house wall to protect his gold. Probably would want to finish that, go up to this forest patch, and then maybe they could even wall here, just get a team wall going between them to keep some trade safe later. But this castle now under pressure, but the Berserks managing to take out the Trebs, and it looks like they managed to take out that Ram. The repairs coming in, it'll stay alive, and this gold will stay underneath their control. The score's still really close, and that Goths player, though, about 30 villagers behind the Viking, and even though he has such a huge economy to spam out these Huskarls, Huskarls are not going to beat the Berserks. He would need to add in some champions, and his barracks are all the way back here. Maybe he would want to send some villagers forward and build his barracks up here near blue, just let his units spawn closer to the fight. That's something that the Viking player can't do because he has to rely on these castles to produce his units, but now at the max population is our Red Vikings player, as looks like he's going to manage to clean this up. Longbows behind, Berserks in front, and this is a really nice combination. As now a Scorpion coming out for the Celts. Scorpion's trying to deal with the Berserks, but Scorpions probably aren't going to have the range to be useful against the Longbows. As these Mangonels not really getting the shots they need. They're killing a few Berserks, but still low HP. Looks like they're going to go down pretty quickly, and there we go, going down. As Trebuchets will go down as well, and the Celts player now losing all of his siege, and all that pressure that was coming in is now killed. All those resources are lost, and our Yellow Britons player is free to continue pumping out Longbowmen up on 3 town centers, has about 100 villagers, and he has the castles he needs to make his unique unit. Maybe would want to either delete a hole there or make the gate there so that they don't have to walk as far to get to the battle. But now Red, look at that score, look at that economy he has. It's huge. Sending the Berserks forward. And Scorpions now from the Celts to deal with the Berserks. You always have to love Scorpions, but still there's so many Berserks. And the Scorpions just going to melt. They're so fragile. And now even tributing Wood, his economy is so large he can send it to his teammate. Just sending all those extra resources to the Briton, get him producing, get him the resources he needs to do his upgrades, and just continue pushing here. As Goths play, there's no way they can attack Red at home with those 5 castles defending himself and that double wall of stone wall, house, and blacksmith. And looks like these Huskarls still, now Huskarls will be doing a bit better since they will be a bit closer to Blue's base now and further away from Red's castles, but still not much they can do to stop the Berserks. Desperately trying to get out some Scorpions, but they're not going to be enough. And that castle, looks like the castle will just go down to Berserks. As Purple now desperately trying to close up that hole in his wall to stop the Berserks from getting into his economy. But lots of longbows coming forward. There's another hole down here. That gold isn't going to be safe for much longer once those longbows come in. And one castle down to the Berserks as they move on to try to take out the next. Heavy Scorpion now coming in as a Trebuchet is coming in from the back to help the Berserks take out that castle. And looks like both of those castles will go down to those Berserks. And nothing that they can really do to stop this. Red with the military advantage and with a military unit that beats Blue's units. So yeah, not much that the Goths player can do. That Goth spam in this game wasn't quite enough to overcome that Viking economy, and especially with this unit composition, all these villagers, ooh, nice wall just in time to keep the Berserks out, but these villagers here will go down. That's another about 10 or so villagers lost, and not going to be able to pick off that Treb. And Berserks, you can just patrol them in there, change them to your attack stance, but no, the Blue's going to retreat. Try to fight with these Scorpions. Now, this is actually a nice combination. The longbows force Huskarls from the Goths, and then the Berserks can clean up the Huskarls instead of allowing the Goths to go champions, because the longbows could deal with the champions. And Britons can also deal with champions with their own infantry too, because the Britons have really good infantry. But maybe getting caught a bit out of position here with a few Scorpions and quite a lot of Huskarls, but still so much spam coming in from these castles it probably won't matter. But both sides losing a lot of units here. Looks like it's pretty close. Looks like the Viking player might just come out on top just because those Berserks are better at killing Huskarls. And yeah, look at how quickly those Huskarls go down, and Red managing to come out top in that fight, and he still has more units coming in. And see, Yellow managing to, he just sold 1,500 food twice. And that town center from Purple going down, and his economy really wide open now. As these Berserks trying to come in and do some more raiding. And these farms, not much here, but oh, that gold is going to run out pretty soon. And this wide open hole in Blue's economy, he has nothing there to defend it. He has these idle farms in the back, as just desperately trying to throw up a wall, siege workshop, and a house just to close that off. Nice wall by him, and those Berserks will be out. Of course, we have seen Berserks already take down a castle. They could go for another, and Blue's trying to put a town center on this gold. No one has gone for this gold in the middle. Let's check how Yellow's doing, or how Red's doing. He's out of gold at the front, and he's only has a tiny bit more gold on the side of his base. And what has he scattered? He has scattered these golds, so he knows they're there, and he knows that he can't go and try to control them. But now Purple and Blue finally, they are split apart. They can't help each other anymore, and these Berserks are all in the Goth eco, and there is the GG. And we just saw the power of that Viking economy and 5 castle elite Berserks pushing in to kill the Huskarls that the Goth had made to deal with the longbows. So civ decisions paying off in game 1. Vikings and Britons making a really nice combination here. The longbows being able to pressure the Celts just enough to force the Goth player to help out with Huskarls, which then get killed by the Berserks. So next game, of course, they will be switching civs. Let's go check the achievements first. And we see military stats, those Goths produced a lot of units, but not really the units that he needed for fighting the Vikings. Economy, look at that. Look at all of that food collected by the Vikings. It's concentrating heavily on food and gold. This team definitely had a much stronger economy. And really late boom with those 5 town centers getting up around 30 minutes, and then helping a Britain player, slinging him a bit of resources later too. But no one really going for relics. But if you look at this timeline, look at how large that population timeline is for the Viking player throughout the game. Once he hits Imp, just steps up production of those Berserks. Alright, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll do Game 3 after this.